Do not do this on your resume. If you're in the process of updating your resume, do not make the same mistake that I'm going to explain to you right now. So I'm doing an executive search right now, actually a couple different executive searches that I've been retained on. My inbox is getting filled up with candidates sending me their resumes, and of course I'm looking at them every day. Today I received 2 resumes from 2 different candidates, and both of them made a critical mistake on their resume. I want to explain to you what the mistake is and why you need to avoid making the same mistake. Now in both cases, the candidates had resumes that were 2 pages or longer. That's perfectly fine. Let me show you how the first page was outlined. They had their name and contacts at the top, followed by a series of sections, starting with an executive summary section, which is appropriate. That was followed by a listing of like their core skills. Then they had something called like career highlights with more information. And if that wasn't enough, they had the results that they had achieved, where they were showcasing specifically the kind of contributions they had made. All of that was the first page. It wasn't until I got to the second page that I actually could see their true career experience, meaning what company they work at, what title they currently have, and whether or not they're even qualified for the job. The reason why you don't want to make this mistake is something very important. It has to do with time. Your readers are time starved, whether it's the recruiter, the hiring manager, the human resources professional, or the internal talent acquisition person. Everybody's time starved when they're reading your resume. And the higher you get in an organization, the higher the job is that you're applying for, the more time starved that reader is going to be. And I can only imagine how much time it took these 2 candidates to perfect this beautiful page 1, only to sort of realize that I hardly even read it. So your reader is going to do the same thing I did. They're going to look at this, and as impressive as it may be to the eye initially, it doesn't have the information that I want to see first. I had to flip past this resume, page 1, to get to page 2 to actually see the company, their title, and the actual work that they do, and then the job before that. Every hiring manager is really curious to learn this information first before they're going to have any interest in all of this other information. That's just the way it works. And if you're taking your entire first page for a lot of summary information, as scary as it is and as sad as it is, you've wasted a ton of time. If you're building your resume right now, this is what you want to do. If you have a summary at the top of page 1, that's perfectly fine. But you got to make sure on page 1 is at least the start of your career experience section, starting with the most recent job that you're in, title, dates, and some of the work that you do. If you have 2 jobs on page 1, that's fine. But do not force me to flip to page 2 to get to that information, because when you do, I hardly will look at this information at all. I can assure you that if you do have your first job or 2, your most recent job at the bottom of page 1, I probably will actually spend more time reading your summary if I know the career experience is right there at the bottom of page 1. I hope that makes sense. If you have a question, send it to me. I'm David Pinkley, and we'll see you soon.